Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So today's topic is still periodization-wise attacking and defending third. So the moment is attacking, we have possession, and more specifically, we're going to zoom in on the off-the-ball movement. So some coaching tips and some on-marking techniques, if you will. Basically, how to coach off-the-ball movement in soccer. First things first, a little bit about me. So my name is Coach Kevin. I'm connected to the Boyd Knights FC. I currently coach two teams. I'm an A licensed coach. I have a CTL, Club Technical Lead certification as director of coaching. I've also done some work for professional teams as well. We have an MLS Next bracket, so I do the scouting there. Feel free to take a look at my resume here. If you like the template, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be happy to share it with you. You can go over it on your own time. It tells you a little bit more about me, where I've been, what I've done. Um, I'm also part of the European Association of Scouts. I have my certification for set pieces, position specialist, scouting, and game analysis. And these are all my licenses. But you can go over it on your own time. I'll include the link if you like to view this one. So let's get right into it. So obviously a tactical analysis on how to unmark from defenders, unmarking or detaching, or coaches tend to refer to as move or lose your opponent. So obviously an essential tactical skill. It's used to create space, to maintain possession, progress the ball, create passing channels. It's basically the heart or the beat of your attacking play when you have the ball. Um, Player attributes, obviously some understanding of positioning, timing, decision making. So your speed, angle, timing, distance, and body shape. So on marking defenders involves movements designed to lose that marker or your defender to create a passing option for your teammates. Obviously, the benefit here is that well-timed unmarking runs can expose gaps, and you can exploit the gaps behind or in front of the defenders or their defensive lines and structure. So obviously, you're a supporting player at that point, but you can help create your team to create numerical superiority in specific zones. So basically, outnumbering the opponent. I mentioned the timing and the body shape as player actions. The timing of the run is very important. It's the difference between too early and too late. I also mentioned the blind side. So being on the defender's blind side is basically what you're looking for, so that the defender has to turn his head to see you and the ball at the same time. Open body shape refers to how you actually receive the ball or control the ball. So make sure that your body is facing up to where you want to go. So it's a directional, first touch directional. Deception awareness, obviously, in trying to mislead, the defender by making those runs. I'll show you a couple of techniques such as the come and go, the go and come, in and out, out and in, etc. Wall pass, give and goes. So obviously a couple of techniques. I'm only going to zoom into four and make it game specific in this defending third part on a build-up play. So obviously once you master the unmarking or the techniques there, your angles of support will help a lot in the effectiveness of your attacking play when you have the ball. I mentioned explosiveness. Basically, your physical ability as well needs to be quick and sharp. So you're actually a little bit quicker, sharper, faster than your direct opponent or your defender. I mentioned the techniques. Different terms are being used by coaches out there. They use double movements, counter moves, check and spin. Double movement, basically the come and go where you check in and then you go long or into space. You do the in and out, meaning you come inside and you go outside, out and in, obviously outside, then inside, and check into the ball and then go long. Checking into the ball and then going long are typically used by wingers or center midfielders as well, where they kind of commit the defender to follow them. And once they feel and see the defender committing to them, you actually create a time and space for you behind that defender. Third man runs, blindside runs. Third man runs are basically, yeah, give and go, but then with a third player. Blindside runs, I remember the blindside positioning. So you want to position yourself outside their view or their peripheral vision to make sure that you can find space and time that the defender is not aware of where you are. Um, Wall pass is give and go, or kind of an extension of it. So let's say you check in and then you go out. It's a more complex move where you basically give and go. It's the same way you check in, you play the give and go, and then the receiving player will go long and accelerate. So the explosiveness there, the change of speed needs to be there, the change of direction needs to be there. As a coach, obviously, you're trying to see what your weekly cycle goal is. So in this case, attacking and defending third. So we're building up and we're trying to break through the lines and provide options to progress play. So you're looking at those techniques to be implemented or applied to by your players. So our primary players on a build-up play, obviously your goalkeeper, your back four, and your midfield three. So you want to see data-wise how many times you are successful. Maybe it's too hard, too complex or too hard with the numbers on the field. You can take away one or two players to make your focus team more successful at sessions to create that confidence in their ability. Passing is obviously important, not only just the technique of unmarking, but then you want to reward those players doing the well, applying or doing the unmarking technique. So the ball carrier needs to have that passing ability as well. As a coach, what should you be focusing on? Obviously, those techniques, repetition, repetition is key. You want to coach your players on your spatial awareness. So scanning is a very important player key action there, so they can actually see where the pockets of space are. You want to basically show them the techniques and repetition of techniques. You can do that unopposed with just cones. So the cones are defenders, but you can do that. I included that session from yesterday, where it's basically a warm-up pattern or passing pattern, whatever you want to call it, where they do repetition, repetition for about 30 minutes for those four um, techniques. So basically, they know and they understand what the coaching points are for each and every single one of them. So as a coach, again, you're focusing on your off the ball movement, implementing those techniques. I also include an example drill where it's basically a 4v4 and +3 neutral. So you basically have in possession 7 against 4. So if you're marked, you're trying to look for your players to do one of those techniques to break free. Um, Tactical patterns in a match scenario, obviously, we're building out from the back. So we want to focus on our defenders and midfielders on marking to provide those passing channels or outlets during a build-up play. So we're going to encourage those diagonal runs, third man combinations. And I'll show you an example session, full session after this one shortly. Quickly, main principle and sub-principle. So obviously, you want to break through the lines to advance attack. So you want to provide options to play forward. Sub-principle, you want to move or lose your opponent when marked. How do we do that? And then that's where we actually show them the techniques. Come and go and come, in and out and in, and then with the ball, the wall pass, the give and go. So we're looking for those coaching points and coaching moments to maybe stop and freeze and demo player action um, that skill needed per player to be successful in executing this team tactical main and sub principle. Scanning is very important. You want to make sure that they scan their shoulders to see where the pressure is and more importantly where the time and space is. So you want to the blind side, looking to get outside of defender's vision. You want to unmark yourself by running behind the opponent or in front of the opponent. As long as there's a double movement or a counter move, as a coach, you would be happy because you see it being implemented. This was the session from yesterday where we kind of go over the different ones, and this is the setup I mentioned where there was unopposed. I'll just let it play. Unopposed, just the cones being used. This is the go and come, so you check away and then you check in. You do it to the right and left side. You add a mini goal. This is the check in and then you go long. Check in, go long. So it's more of a diagonal pass wide. You do the in and out where you draw the defender inside, make sure the defender commits where the defender is moving forward so you can do the counter move. And then we have the out and in, very similar. You go wide until the defender commits, and then you take advantage of their, um, counter movement right there. Um, so, um, That's basically what we did yesterday, the go and come, the let me just wait, come and go. So check in, then you go away. You do the in and out and the out and in. So those are the four techniques that we focused on yesterday with a lot of repetition, a lot of repetition. So today we have a half field space. We do attacking in defending third on a half field. Obviously, our objective is to focus on unmarking and effective ball progression from defending third into midfield third during the attacking phase. This is a visual of what we're going to focus on. I also included the moments that hopefully we will see as a coach right here. So in and out, the go and come and go. That's a third man run, creating time and space for your teammate, and then maybe a little give and go at the end. I'll include the link as well in the description here so you can see that. But in and out, go and come and go, check in, and the come and go are usually done by midfielders. And the third man run is more for the more intellectual players amongst us to create space for a third man run. So obviously this setup, it's a 7v6 situation. So you're basically looking at a 6 minute work duration, 2 minute recovery. So that makes it eight. You do it times three or four. So that brings you up to about the 30-minute mark. Do that twice. So that's your 60 minutes. You can do your warm up, which is basically the 2v2 game that you saw yesterday. It's a good warm up. And so players get activated and kind of refresh what we're looking for. I just added this, some criteria that influence the intensity and the dynamics of your training session. Obviously, it's a 7v6, so one team is outnumbering the other. So your focus team, you want your focus team to be successful for the game this weekend. There's no restriction. It's FIFA rules. It's a build-up play, so you let the kids play, and you're not really coaching the attackers unless they're not really doing what it is game realistic. So they also need to show the intensity and the energy and the speed and the angle and timing of the press on the ball. So these are just some dynamics. If it's too easy, you feel free to add another player for the attacking team, um, or take away a player. But that's it. I thank you all for listening. My name is Coach Kevin. Reach out to me if you like the template or if you want to see this presentation in PDF or a PowerPoint, reach out to me. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at thescoutingcorner.com. It's the same username on YouTube right here at thescoutingcorner.com. And I thank you all for listening. Thank you.